Another trend that we're seeing right now too is incident response. That whole team really seems to be changing in what it used to traditionally be versus what's changing now. So what are you seeing out there when it comes to incident response?
Yeah, I think incident response was always really it always had the monolithic guys. It had the guys that you would um, I kind of report this back to Hollywood. You see like the IR guy, they fly in on a private jet. They got the laptop out, they're ready to go. It's the tactical tiger team approach to IR. But now what you're starting to see is with the whole adoption of fail fast, fail hard, IR is also moving in that way as well, where you're starting to get these more quick and dirty IR decisions and discussions. Is it a Docker image that got, impacted? Okay, let's do a quick backwards evaluation. What's the exposure of that? Okay, we've got, segmentation in play. It's a minimal impact. Let's blow it up, get going, and we'll monitor it more effectively. And so you're really seeing this kind of pattern of organizations doing IR and then feeding that directly back into their security posture, which is really kind of the ultimate way that you want to do it. It's just not being done in such a way where you've got that guy who flies in on the private jet with the laptop and the black hoodie and is the guy. You're now starting to see that being owned by operational resources, by security resources. You're seeing, this cross organization come together for an IR team that doesn't have to be one guy with all the skills. It's now starting to be spread out a little further, and you're able to quickly remediate, make a determination, and actually provide visibility to your executive team as well. You're able to provide that report more effectively. You're able to make recommendations, and then they're empowered to make a decision around, okay, we really need to shore that up. Let's allocate some resources there. And that's kind of how you can kind of tie that back. And that's what we're seeing a little bit more in the industry right now.
I love that too, because that means we're seeing threat intelligence now playing such a pivotal part throughout the entire security organization. And I think a lot of times threat intel can be an add-on, and it's seen as it's a nice to have, but it's always good to have. But now we're seeing how important it is in every aspect of security. When you're talking about not only the tools, the people, the risks, the processes, all of it, threat intel becomes the backbone of that.
It becomes context. And that's a really interesting thing to kind of look at, because if you don't understand the context of your alert, and I'm going to use kind of SIM as the example here. If you don't understand the context of that alert, why it's triggering, where it's triggering, what it's about, then it appears scary. It appears you don't have a handle on things. It becomes noise. It becomes overwhelming. And threat intel plays a really critical role in providing context, because it allows you to look through that lens of an attacker without having to do a huge red team exercise or anything like that. And you can start to add that context to your experience, driving it downward through your team, through threat intel, and really kind of across silos as well, where now you're starting to see threat intel spread and be used by operational resources for justification. Just like kind of vulnerability was, where you hand off to your operations team to do patching, that plays a role in threat intel as well, as like, hey, we're seeing this, they're seeing this attack, we saw this hash, like this is what we need to do. And operational teams now able to use that as a tool in their tool belt to really garner impact, which is pretty neat when you think about it.
Awesome. Well, Devin, thank you so much for your time today. Really excited about this and really appreciate all you're doing.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.